students. Today we are going to start first chapter of geometry, that is basic concepts in geometry. Okay, some of these basic concepts you learn in your earlier standards, but today we will revise them. Okay, so the first concept is this is suppose a dot. If you made a dot like this by a sharp pencil or by a pen, then it is known as point in geometry. Okay, it is represented by any alphabet. I have taken here A. This is point A. Okay, it is read as point A. The next concept is line. Now see, if here is only one point. If I have taken here many points like this, these are what? Many points. These are actually uncountable points. And set of all points which can extend in both the directions unlimitedly, then this is known as line. Okay, and it is indicated by taking arrows. Now to read this line, take any 2 points on this line. I have taken these points. Suppose this is point P, this is point Q, then it is line PQ, or it is also read as line QP. You can take any other point to name this line. Suppose I have taken here this point, suppose it is R, then it can be line PR, or it can be line RP, it can be line RQ, in this way. So in many different ways you can read it. Okay, now the third concept is segment. Segment. If I have taken only this part, suppose this is PR I have drawn here, then it is what? Segment. It is a part of a line. It is segment PR, and this point P and this point R, these are the end points of the segments. It can be read as segment PR, or you can take R as in the beginning. It is segment RP also, because both are the end points. So it can be segment PR or it can be segment RP. You can define this segment in another way, like it is a set of point P, point R, and all the points between P and R. So it is what? Segment RP. The next concept is, segment PR. The next concept is ray. Now suppose this is one point, and if I have taken, I have drawn a line, ray like this. I have taken many points here, and they can be, we can extend them unlimitedly only in one direction, then that is known as ray. And this starting point is suppose A. Then to read this ray, take this starting point, take any point on this ray. Suppose I have taken here and it is point B, then it is ray AB. It is what? Ray AB. Okay, you can't read as ray BA. You can read only ray AB. The next concept is plane. Okay, plane is any flat surface. This is what? Plane, which can be extended in all the 4 directions, unlimitedly, which can extend it here in all directions. Okay, this is what? Plane. Now to read this plane, you can use a single letter like this. It is plane AB. Sorry, it is plane A. Or you can take any 3 letters in this, any 3 points in this plane. Suppose it is point P, Q and R. Then it is plane PQR. The examples, this blackboard can be a plane. Okay. Now the next concept that we have learned, you have learned, that is collinear points. Now if there are 3 points like this, you know point now. These are 3 points. Suppose it is point L, it is point M and it is point N. And if a single straight line can be drawn from through all these 3 points, then that points are known as collinear points. Take this point here. So what are collinear points? When a single straight line can draw through 3 distinct points, then that points are known as collinear points. They can be 3 or they can be more than 3. You can take any point here also. So they are collinear points. And if we can't draw such line, then that points are known as non-collinear points. Non-collinear points. Suppose the points are like this. Here these are the points. Okay, and if I try to draw a straight line, then we can't include all 3 points. A single line can be drawn through 2 points, because you learned before this that only one and only one can be drawn through a one and only one line can drawn through 2 distinct points. But if these 3 points are here, and if I try to draw a single straight line, then we can't draw it, and therefore point, suppose A, B and C, then these points A, B, C are non-collinear points. Now the next concept is distance between any 2 points. Okay, now see, this is a number line, and every point is associated with some number here, that is known as coordinate of that point. Suppose the coordinate of point A is 1, coordinate of point C is +3, coordinate of point F is -3, like this. Now if I want to find out the distance between 2 points, suppose distance between A and B, then it is denoted as distance AB. Okay. Now to find out the distance between these two, you have to subtract a smaller coordinate from a greater coordinate. Now here the greater coordinate is 2, smaller coordinate is 1. You can write here greater coordinate. We will solve the examples from the exercise later, minus smaller coordinate. Okay, so greater coordinate is +2 minus +1, that is 2 minus 1, it is 1. Now here it is unit. Okay, so distance between B and A, or you can say A and B, is 1. It is the distance is never negative. Therefore, the distance between these 2 points also you can see here. Now I will not write this, just I will solve it. The coordinate of point D is -1. Coordinate of point F is -3. So distance between DF is what? Greater coordinate minus smaller coordinate. Which is greater coordinate here? -1. Because you know that the numbers on the left hand sides are bigger. Sorry. The numbers on the right hand sides are bigger than the numbers which are on the left hand side. So -1 is bigger, minus -3. That is this negative, when outside the bracket there is negative sign, the sign change into all the signs in the bracket are changed, because outside the bracket there is negative sign. So it is +3, and the distance is 2 units. So distance between D and F is what? 2 units. So if you have find out the distance between any 2 points on this number line, you have to subtract a smaller coordinate from a greater coordinate, and it will always positive, because distance is never negative. Now see, we will study the relation between distance and betweenness now. Now you understand the distance between 2 points. To find out the distance between 2 points, subtract a smaller coordinate from a greater coordinate. Now here there are 3 points, point A, B and point C. I have taken the distance AB as 10 units. Okay, distance BC as 5, and distance AC is 10. Take 15 here. Okay, now if the greater distance is 15 here, the greater distance is AC, and if the greater distance is equal to the sum of the remaining 2 distances, that is distance AB plus distance BC, then we say that the point B is between A and C. By figure we can draw it like this. If it is a line and point A is here, point C is here, the distance between A and C is what? 15. Okay, and the point B is somewhere here, the distance between AB is 10. It is B. The distance between AB is what? 10, and this distance is what? 5. So in this case you say that point B is between A and C. When such condition occurs, for example, the greater distance, that is AC, equal to the sum of the remaining two distances, then we say that the point A, B, C are collinear points. I forget to tell you at that time, collinearity is shown like this: A dash B dash C. What is the meaning of it? A, B, C are collinear points and B is between A and C. Okay, so I hope you understand betweenness. When we say that point, that particular point is between the remaining 2 points, check the greater distance and check whether the greater distance equal to sum of the remaining 2 distances. Then that point is between the other two. Okay. Now midpoint of a segment. Now what is this condition? A dash B dash C means what? A, B, C are collinear points and B is between A and C. And if AB, distance AB equal to distance BC in this case, then we say that B is a midpoint of AC. Okay, means if it is asked that check whether B is a midpoint or not, what you have to check? That that the two distances excluding the greater distance should be equal. Now in this case, B is what? Midpoint of segment AC. Okay. Now the next concept is opposite rays. Opposite rays. You know what is meant by ray. What is meant by ray? Suppose this is a point, and if I draw many points here like this, and if I shown it by a arrow, then it is ray, suppose AB. It is what? Ray AB. And taking the same starting point. Okay. Take the same starting point and draw another ray in exactly opposite direction, but lying on the same line. Now this, if I take point C here, then it is what? Line BC. It can be line AB. But considering this point A, this is ray AB and this is ray AC. Then these two rays are known as opposite ray. Okay. So what is meant by opposite rays? Opposite rays have a common starting point and they are exactly in the opposite direction on the same line. If you measure this angle, then this angle will be of 180 degree. So which ray are opposite rays here? Rays AB and ray AC are opposite rays. Okay. Now length of a segment. So what is length of a segment? The distance between the end points of a segment. Suppose it is segment PQ, and the distance between point P and point Q is known as length of a segment. It is denoted like this: length PQ or length of PQ, or you can say just PQ equal to 5 units, like this. Okay, so what is meant by length of a segment? The distance between end points of a segment is known as length of that segment. Okay, now the next concept is congruent segments. Okay, congruent segment. Now you can understand it from a meaning. What is congruent segments? The when two segments have equal length, suppose it is segment AB and it length is 5 units. It is segment PQ. Its length is also 5 units. Then you say that segment PQ, segment AB is congruent to segment PQ. So congruent segments means what? Segments having equal length are known as congruent segments. Now comparison of segments. How you can compare two segments? Comparison of segments. If it is segment AB and its length is 5 units, and segment PQ, I will draw here again. It is segment AB 5 units and it is segment PQ, its length is 7 units. or you can write here segment AB 5, segment PQ 7 units, means PQ is bigger than AB. You can say if the length of the segment PQ is bigger than segment AB, then you can denote it like this: PQ is greater than AB. Now see properties of congruent segments. The first property is reflexivity. Reflexivity means what? Every segment is congruent to itself. Suppose we are talking about segment AB, then it is congruent to itself. Now this property you have to use when you will prove the theorems. That's why you remember it. What is reflexivity? Every segment is congruent to itself. The second property is symmetry. If segment AB is congruent to segment PQ, then you say that segment PQ will also congruent to segment AB. This is what? Symmetry. And the next property is transitivity. Transitivity. It states that if segment AB is congruent to segment PQ and segment PQ is congruent to segment RS, then AB is congruent to PQ, PQ is congruent to RS, then you can say that AB and RS are also congruent. Then segment AB is congruent to segment RS. This property is known as transitivity. Okay. Now the next concept is perpendicularity of rays or perpendicularity of segments. Okay. Perpendicularity of segments. Now see, if these are two lines, it is line AB and it is line PQ, and they intersect each other at right angle, then you say that these two lines are perpendicular. So when these two lines containing, suppose it is point A, when these two lines contain ray AP, okay, and ray AB, and if these two lines are perpendicular, then you say that ray AP and ray AB are also perpendicular. In short, you can say that two lines containing two segments or two rays or one segment or one ray are perpendicular to each other, then that two rays or then that two segments, okay, or one ray and one segment, they are perpendicular to each other. Okay. Distance of a point from a line. Okay. This is point C and it is line AB. And if I have drawn a perpendicular from this C on AB, it is point D. Perpendicular means CD is perpendicular to AB and this D is lies on line AB. Then that length of CD is known as distance of this point C from line AB. So to find out distance, draw a perpendicular from that point to a line. Okay. So these are all basic concepts in geometry and I hope you understand them all. Revise them at home and try to solve the examples from exercise 1.1. Now it is too late and we will take the examples in the next lecture. Okay.